My biggest takeaway is that we got to learn about a different culture from US culture and get to actually study it firsthand and, sort of immerse ourselves in it. That's something you really can't do unless you actually study abroad.
My favorite part of the trip was definitely getting to make new friends and meet new people, because I didn't know anybody coming in, and that was a real big concern of mine, was being in a foreign country with like 17 other people that I had never met before. And so I was really appreciative of the fact that we got along so well and have friends for life now.
I think my favorite was when we got to go to a contrada dinner, and it was like a very authentic experience, and we got to have local cuisine and meet a lot of the local people there.
We went to an olive oil factory, a coffee factory. The wineries were really cool. We got to sample wine at 2 of them. The cooking class was really fun. She definitely made us all participate. We were really stoked to eat all the food at the end. All of the food was so good. It was like authentic, and all of that stuff she said was from Siena or like the surrounding areas. It was really delicious.
Definitely take advantage of the time while you're in Europe. If you're studying abroad, and if you have the time, the money, or whatever the resources, I definitely recommend staying around just to backpack, see other parts of the country, the continent. It's an amazing place.
Students are actually participating in intercultural communication all the time, and so they can really relate to the course material and I think learn so much more from it. And I also saw students getting to know each other in a really cool way. I saw relationships really growing. I studied abroad when I was an undergrad, and so I know that those relationships can last a lifetime, and that's really special. I also thought it was really cool to see how individual students grew as well. Some students came in and they had never traveled abroad or barely traveled at all, and then by the end of the trip they weren't nervous anymore. They were excited to be there. They didn't want to go home. They had mastered the ways of traveling around Europe and traveling around Italy, and I could just see how empowering that was for them.
We designed the program to try and bring together and blend the familiar with the new and unfamiliar. And so you have a group of Missouri faculty members and Missouri students that are familiar and provide that sense of comfort. Then you're in a true Italian city of Siena. And we picked Siena in particular. It's very close to famous, well-known cities, and yet Siena itself is more of a hidden gem that has a real Sienese Italian daily culture that our students get to experience and participate in. We've designed the program to incorporate up front several trips, overnight trips to cities such as Florence and Bologna, with time for on the weekend for our students to decide to travel further. They tend to go to Venice, Cinque Terre, Rome, Naples. They do a lot of exploring on the weekends, but by having the program be 5 weeks, we're hoping that they can also spend some time with a nice home base and really get to know Siena at the same time. My favorite event was probably that contrada dinner, because I just watched the students light up in a way that is really hard to explain. They were having an amazing time, and they were experiencing something that's very Italian, and they just clearly loved it.